Hello everyone, we are here to issue you with a Caribbean passport, the only document that you will need to enjoy the tours to all the famous sites that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has to offer. Learn more about the Chinese connection in this part of the world. Preview the upcoming Commonwealth Youth Games in Trinidad and Tobago. Enjoy a glimpse into everyone's go-to holiday spot, Jamaica. Sample another one-of-a-kind Caribbean dish, of course, and much more. Wait, we are still sitting around? Come on, let's go.
Caribbean Passport recently visited St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a true gem of our region, and reconnected with dear friends Millie and Clint at HazECO Tours. We had the pleasure of meeting them when Caribbean Passport first started over 20 years ago. One destination, 32 islands. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is so unique, and there's no better way to see this tropical paradise and its many, many sights than with experienced tour guides like HazECO.
HazECO Tours have been operating now for 28 years. We offer top quality informative tours. We offer a lot of historical tours, a walking tour of Kingstown, going to all the markets, going to the historical buildings within Kingstown. So in essence, we're a one-stop when you come for your vacation. We will provide everything for you and arrange everything for you.
And this is the original roast corn, man, the original roast corn.
That is sweet corn.
And this is the original recipe. So everything is original.
Fort Charlotte is one of the main tours that we do. Fort Charlotte has been there from 1800s, and it is one of the most beautiful views on Kingstown, that you can see the whole of Kingstown, the Grenadine Islands. Fort Charlotte was used in the days of the British. They built it around the time when we had the Carib Wars.
This is how it would have looked back then. The page of any lights is just so you, but this is the original look of the walls from since the fort would have started its original construction in 1763. So these bricks would have come over as balance on the ships when they came to get the cotton, the sugar cane, and they were left behind to build buildings like the fort. We're here at Fort Charlotte, St. Vincent, and in Kingstown, this is one of the most highlighted sites or the most visited sites on the island. Fort Charlotte is unique because of the fact that you would never see another fort like this anywhere in the Caribbean, because this fort, which is a British era fort, would have been built to protect from the attacks that would have come from inland and not from the sea, because normally forts are built to protect from the attacks that would come from the sea. So here today we would notice that all our guns are turned inland. There would have been two periods of wars called the Carib Wars that was being fought here. So in that period where we would have been going through slavery. So St. Vincent is actually one of the shortest lived country to have served through slavery, because while other countries were doing slavery, we were over here fighting for our freedom. And when I say we, I mean my ancestors, the Garifuna or the Kalinago people. Yes, the Black Caribs.
We offer tours to the volcano, Darkview Falls, Vermont Nature Trail. We go down to the beaches. We have beach tours as well. We also offer tours to the Grenadine Islands. The people really love this island. They always comment on the beautiful mountains and how friendly the people are. Vinci people are very friendly people, yes.
We need to look after our fellow citizens, and it is great to see good corporate citizens like Republic Bank show they have the power to care, the power to help others to succeed as they succeed. Republic Bank is committed to enriching the lives of their customers throughout the region.
Social investment has always been an integral part of the Republic Group's DNA. The Power to Make a Difference program is the primary mechanism through which we achieve this objective.
Republic Bank Guyana Limited has been very involved in our community through our social investment initiative, The Power to Make a Difference. We have partnered with the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports to resuscitate and help develop and build the Steel Pan fraternity. Recently, we launched a project with cider, and at the conclusion of this program, 50 youth will get grants to purchase equipment and tools to commence their program. We would have launched Fight for Fun, where boys and girls at a primary school level are able to develop their cricket skill, and this is done in partnership with Cricket West Indies and is executed by the Guyana Cricket Board.
China's position as one of the globe's premier economic powers has been a fact of life for at least a generation. Diplomacy, infrastructural development, trade and economic assistance have allowed China to foster increasingly stronger ties with nations across the world, including right here in the Caribbean. And the establishment of diplomatic relations brings greater trade and economic cooperation opportunities for countries like Trinidad and Tobago.
I've been promoting Trinidad and Tobago as a favorable investment destination. We do have a positive growth trajectory, and there has been a lot of interest in Trinidad and Tobago's investment climate and how to do business here. Many Chinese enterprises are also looking to expand their business operations overseas, and Trinidad and Tobago is certainly a destination that they are looking towards. I was fortunate to attend the second China Trinidad and Tobago Investment Cooperation Forum, and it was an opportunity for the Trinidad and Tobago manufacturers to see the nexus between research and industry in China, and I think it was a great opportunity to see how we can build out our capacities in those areas.
For decades, Chinese dance troupes have been entertaining crowds at venues throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Likewise, Chinese audiences have been exposed to dynamic performances that have brought a deep level of exposure to Trinidad and Tobago's culture.
The Chinese audience would have been interested in our steel pan, our carnival, and our culture. And they are really interested and really try to understand the history of our culture. Chinese people are always so amazed that they can come to Trinidad and they can wear costumes and celebrate with us 2 days in the street, whether it's Juve, it's Pretty Mass, it's Old Mass. It is definitely something that is unique to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Our culture was born out of creativity, innovation, and it also represents the resilience of our people. And I think in that respect, Chinese people appreciate and acknowledge the merit of this.
From the arrival of the first group of Chinese migrants in Trinidad and Tobago in 1806, through the subsequent contributions of this country's Chinese community, plus the little-known fact that a few of China's influential figures were actually born in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course the establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries in 1974. It has been a long road when it comes to the ties that bind China and Trinidad and Tobago.
Being of Chinese descent from Trinidad and Tobago, the Chinese public are quite curious as to the deeper connections between Trinidad and Tobago and China. Chinese people in Trinidad and Tobago would have made stellar contributions to modern day society. Just for example, our national emblems, our national flag and our coat of arms were built and designed by Carlisle Chang. We even have influences from Trinidad and Tobago to China. Dai Alian, considered the mother of Chinese modern dance, was born in colonial Trinidad and Tobago. She would have established the Beijing Dance Academy. Even Eugene Chen, the first Minister of Foreign Affairs under the government of Sun Yat-sen, he was born in Trinidad and Tobago.
With diplomatic relations existing between China and 179 United Nations member countries, the People's Republic enjoys an undeniable measure of influence on almost every corner of the earth. Development projects, products, culture, food, brand China is all around us, and its existence here in the Caribbean continues to expand.
I've always believed that doing the right thing takes patience. It shows a deeper commitment to create something that people will enjoy for a long time to come. So we take our time to get El Dorado right. And we're taking the time to make the world's most sustainable rum. When we started our sustainability journey, it was not something that rum distilleries prioritized. But not us. We knew the impact on Guyana and on the planet was becoming more and more important to the rum we make.
Guyana has a very unique environment, blessed with tropical rains and sunshine throughout the year. That is why 3/4 of the country's landmass is covered by lush, untouched rainforests, which is the home of over 1,200 different species of animals. Preserving the environment is the key to our El Dorado brand strategy. We aim at keeping the entire supply chain, from raw materials through the production process to the point of delivery to the market, in a manner that minimizes the impact of our operation on the environment.
Rum making uses energy and makes waste. Back in 2010, we built a biomethanization plant to use the waste from the distillery to produce energy in the form of biogas. Adding to that, nearly 2/3 of our fuel that we use for power generation comes from liquefied natural gas, which emits 20% less carbon as compared to conventional diesel combustion. The CO2 we produce during fermentation is captured, treated, pressurized, and liquefied for use in soft drink according to PepsiCo's standard of 99.9% purity, as well as other industrial uses, thus reducing the release of CO2 gas into the atmosphere. But efficiency is where we make the big difference. Our new stills recovers and reuses energy so that we use less to make more. And with the bottling plant metering system, we're able to save on precious water.
Rum is an integral part of our history as a Guyanese people, and El Dorado enjoys a very close relationship with the communities in which we operate. Our DDL Foundation and cadetship programs provide educational opportunities for young Guyanese so that the next generation can enjoy this world that we are striving to protect.
I do believe that because rum is a product from the agriculture sector, the environment is absolutely key in terms of rum production on a sustainable basis. And that is why our goal is to keep El Dorado as the one brand that has the smallest footprint when it comes to rum on the international market.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Caribbean Passport. And now for some tourism news. Jamaica has surpassed over 1.5 million visitor arrivals year to date for 2023 at a faster pace than in 2022, a tremendous achievement.
Yes, and last year in 2022, you'd remember that Jamaica welcomed nearly 2.5 million visitors, according to Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett. And the intention is to attract more than 3.8 million visitors this year and grow to more than 5 million visitors by 2025.
We congratulate our friends and neighbors in Jamaica for continuing to build resilience in the tourism industry.
你好，我叫刘娜，我是特立尼达和多巴哥驻华大使，这是加勒比护照。My name is Analisa Low. I am the ambassador of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to the People's Republic of China, and you are watching Caribbean Passport.
We are so excited. No one will be left out.
All those Commonwealth countries, we kind of have that similar background.
26 years after the idea was first floated, Commonwealth Youth Games number 7 is hitting Trinidad and Tobago's shores. 1,000 athletes between the ages of 14 and 18, 71 nations, 7 different sports, 99 events, August 4th to 11th. Hasty Crawford Stadium in Port of Spain, Shore Park Complex in Scarborough, the National Aquatic Centre and the National Cycling Velodrome in Couva, plus other venues across both islands. It's going to be a global celebration of athletic excellence featuring future world stars.
The games will be held in Trinidad and Tobago. We look forward to seeing you all. We look forward to hosting all the Commonwealth countries. We're looking forward to it.
With the unveiling of the 2023 Commonwealth Youth Games logo and mascot cookie, the anticipation was boosted to the next level.
The theme is our youth and culture inspires. So as you know, it's a youth game, so everything is youth centered.
So we have 7 sports: aquatics, athletics, para-athletics, and cycling and track cycling are in Trinidad. And then we have rugby, netball, triathlon, and beach volleyball in Tobago, along with our opening ceremonies here in Trinidad and our closing ceremonies in Tobago.
It's competitive and it can drive you to great performances, but it's also a little bit more lighthearted. So I hope they really enjoy it, and I know we'll put on a great show for them.
The time has come. Bring the baton. March with pride. Get the action started.
At La Mer, you will journey to an oasis of indulgence where one can reawaken to total tranquility. We craft each experience to help you unwind and restore the spirit. Give the gift of a La Mer experience with our spa packages. This gift is valid for 12 months and promises a true luxurious spa experience to help one relax and unwind. From our spa package bundles or a la carte treatments in the sanctuary of the senses, our services from hot stone massages to manicures, pedicures, and customized biologique recharge facials create luxurious restoration for the mind and body. Purchase that gift card for family, friends, and colleagues for a one-of-a-kind spa experience. Visit us today or purchase online. We're open 7 days a week, including holidays. Log on to our website at lamerdayspa.com for more information, or call us at 627-3252 or 5973. Our front desk team will be happy to assist with your vital luxuries.
Well, with all the touring, getting ready for the Commonwealth Youth Games, and taking in the best that this region has to offer, it's time for a quick breather and some real tasty food. Let's check out what Chef Stacy Sammy is whipping up.
Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Caribbean Passport. I am Chef Stacy, and today I will be bringing you my version of shepherd's pie, or as I call it, the chef's hood pie. So stay tuned for that. So as you can see, I have everything prepped and waiting, but I'm going to start with seasoning my meat. So I know that long ago this pie was actually made with lamb, but today I'm going to be using beef. So I'm going to start by using some of my instant seasoning. So I'm just going to let that set a bit, and I'm going to be using now some of my salt, some freshly ground seasoning, and also some oregano, some black pepper for a little spice, some garlic powder, some all-purpose seasoning, a hint of cayenne as well. All right, and I'm going to be adding my seasoning mix. You can use your hands as well. All right, so I'm going to leave our beef to marinate, and we'll come back and start preparing. It's a different type of way I'm going to do the meatballs for the shepherd pie. All right, so I'm going to spread some of this panko breadcrumbs just to give it a little texture as well. All right, so when we're doing the meatballs, they won't fall apart. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little more breadcrumbs. All right, so we're going to be cooking these meatballs now. I have a pan with a bit of oil, and so we want a nice little crisp on both sides, just to pre-cook it a bit so it doesn't mash up in the pie itself. So they look like some mini hot dogs. And with that lovely breadcrumb, just to give it a little bit of a bite. So we're going to cook this overall for about 5 minutes. All right, so when it's nice and brown, I'm going to turn it over and let it cook for another, let's say 2 to 3 minutes. All right, and I'm going to be starting to put together the potatoes. So my potatoes are boiled. It's not too soft and not too hard, because it's going to be cooking again in the oven. So I'm just going to be cutting them in some circles to create that nice fancy dish that you'll see soon. So my potato circles, I'm going to season up all, and I'm going to be using my seasonings. So we're going to have our black pepper, our dried seasoning, our oregano, our garlic powder, and I love using my liquid saffron. Healthy and gives it a really nice color as well. So I'm just going to toss it up just to combine all the seasonings that I have added. All right, so our meat is nice and golden brown. So I am turning them over for another 2 to 3 minutes. I've added my homemade marinara and I've been placing my potatoes to start setting up the dish. So as you can see, I layered it with some of the marinara and potato, and now I'm going to be adding my peas and my vegetables and my meat. All right, so time to pour my yummy homemade cheese sauce. And this as well is very simple. Now, lovely people, if you want the full recipe, you can WhatsApp me at 287-5582 and I will give you the full recipe. This is just the first layer, as I said. Second layer coming through. All right, so I'm going to be adding some of my sharp cheddar cheese, some of this yummy breadcrumbs, a bit of Parmesan cheese, and of course some of our garlic powder and our lovely seasoning. All right, so our last layer is going to be our potatoes on top of that. So for our final touches, put a lot of cheese on the top so we get a nice crust. Get some Parmesan in there, looking so yummy. And then our final coating of breadcrumbs. All right, so into the oven for about 45 minutes on 400 degrees. My shepherd's pie is ready and it's time to dig in. Our potatoes are lovely, cheesy, creamy, all that goodness. And our meatball is cooked to perfection. Let me get a bit of the vegetables. 10 out of 10. Thank you for looking at this episode of Caribbean Passport. I am Chef Stacy and I do hope you enjoyed this segment. See you next time.
Thank you, Stacy. That was certainly food for thought. Our journeys are always eye-opening experiences. Thanks once again for being our guest on Caribbean Passport. Until the next time we meet, we do wish you all the best. Take care, everyone. Remember to have your Caribbean passport ready and let's travel.